Welcome to High Oracles Reiki Spiritual Healing Channel. And I haven't talked to the female in quite some time because I have been putting together a program for you. And what I wanted to talk to you about first, what you need to know and what is very important for a lot of our young women to know is that, first of all, you are able to see these men who are emotionally unintelligent. Okay? I want you to start off by taking a look at the men that were in your life, that were in your mother's life, that was in your grandmother's life. If they associated with, just coming home and not spending any time with you, if you never saw your fathers, then these are some of the telltale signs, the red flags that you want to stay away from in attracting new relationships. Okay? You don't want to attract that type of person that is emotionally unintelligent, emotionally unavailable. So when we're talking about emotionally unavailable, which means that they cannot put themselves in your shoes. They do not have the empathy, which means that in many cases, when you're dealing with these types of men in the relationship, then they are cut off from the divine. They do not believe in God. They are not being led by God. So this is why I have been designing some of these prayer sessions so that we can take a look at what emotional unintelligent looks like. We have to make sure that we do not fall into the same trap that our parents, our mothers fell into, because we want to be accepted in a male-driven society, okay, which does not value the women. Okay, they do not value women until they're sick, or they want to have children. They want to create a family, and they cannot do that without the women. Okay, so this is what we're looking at, these red flags. This is why you're supposed to go through your parents' house to see if this person is emotional available, emotional intelligent. Does he get angry? Is this person violent? Is this person trying to pressure you into, having sex with them before marriage? Okay? So you don't want to be intimate with these types of people, and give your power away. Because once you enter into a relationship with them, they will certainly keep draining your energy based off of how you have given your energy away to them. Whether it is, for you to be at home, for you to be a sit-at-home wife, for you to have the kids, you always want to make sure that the person that you are dealing with, even if they are financially stable, that they have the emotional intelligence to understand that they're not going to belittle you or harm you, become violent, abusive in a relationship because you are a stay-at-home mom. Okay? A traditional mom. Okay? So these are some of the things that we take a look at. We take a look at these types of emotional behaviors. We also take a look at, the emotional behaviors of the women, in my prayer session classes for women. It's for all people, but a lot of the women, need to know this type of information, that just because you are a traditional housewife, you know, a lot of people don't like to say those words. Just because you're a traditional, that doesn't mean that your life stops, that you stop, you know, making your own money. That doesn't mean that you just stop taking care of yourself and you focus totally on the family. Okay, and you know, I give the ladies a good example all the time. You know, I don't look this good because, you know, I was pouring all of myself into my husband. No, I was pouring myself into my businesses, and I was telling my husband that, okay, this is what you need to do. This is where we are. You know, this is what's going to take us to the next level. Okay, so that's the type of person. When you are a traditional woman, you don't have to be one of those women that your mother was. Okay, we don't want to be that, where, you know, she has no way out and all she can do is, you know, get on welfare or accept the abuse from, you know, her man, her husband. Okay, who is emotionally unavailable. Those are the types of men that they want to talk about you when they get around their families. Those are the types of men that, you know, will value their friends over the home life. They will treat somebody else's home better than they treat the home that they live in. Those are the types of men that are emotionally unintelligent. They are the narcissists. These are the ones that I'm warning you against, because I have come in contact with them. I have experienced them in relationships, you know, and I have experienced them in, you know, my mother and my aunt's relationships. Okay, I've experienced them in my relationship. So we want to make sure that when you're speaking from experience, that you give, you know, the honest truth about who these narcissists are. These demonic people that's in the relationship, they're in competition with you. They want to take all resources away from you, and they want to isolate you so that they can abuse you if you are a traditional wife. When you are a person, a wife that has options, let me make sure that you understand 737 as I'm saying this to you. Okay, empathic males will not be in competition with you, because they come to the relationship, you know, financially, mentally sound. Okay, they come to the relationship knowing that they are being led by the Godhead. These men who are narcissists, they are not led by the Godhead. They do not want anyone to be better than them. They are in competition with you. You will at some point during the relationship, you know, turn and see them giving you microbursts. Okay? They will give you the evil eye. They will be, again, in competition with you. So you have to make sure that when you are getting with the persons in your life, you are able to distinguish those people who are narcissists from the empath. The empath is what we're looking for. The empath is not afraid to come to your family, your father, and ask for your hand in marriage. The narcissist male is going to try to approach you because he is afraid. He is afraid of the rejection if he go to your parents and he doesn't have the skills in order to take care of you or your children that you will have in the future. So, you know, your mother is going to be like me. Don't fall for the "you're beautiful and I love you." What kind of skills do you have? What kind of education do you have? What do you have to fall back on? What kind of dowry are you going to give me? Are you going to give me $20,000 in dowry? Okay, so just in case this doesn't work out and you want somebody else that's younger, I have something to fall back on. If they're not coming with any kind of dowry, usually they are a narcissist. If they're not going to the mother and the father, if they're not established. It's not all about money. They can, he can just be finishing college, just starting off in his field. They can choose to marry you under these conditions, that you give this amount of money, and he takes care of you and the children during the relationship. Okay, it can go under contract. Okay, so these are the types of emotional unintelligent dudes that bring nothing to the table, but want total submission. They want you to stop working and be a traditional wife, but they're unable to take care of you, pay the rent, pay the car note, buy your clothes, and provide for whatever children that they have produced, during that relationship. So these are some of the things that I teach, the red flags in our prayer sessions, in our women's prayer session. And I teach you the emotional unavailable type narcissist, and I teach you the emotional unintelligent narcissist. Those are going to be those dudes that are the hustlers and the pimps, that is going to pretend to give you everything, but they're going to undress your decorum. Okay, so we're going to talk about all of these. This is what I've been putting in place for you women, and I want you to reach out to me in the description below if you have been in a relationship where a person, the narcissist male in your life, has taken your decorum, has undressed you, and we'll call our power back. Once you've seen those red flags in these types of people, we're going to work on the mental health. We're going to work on, being ourselves, returning back to being natural in our sessions. So make sure that you book your prayer sessions with me. Okay, and I will make sure that I get in touch with you guys and give you your date and time that you'll be able to talk to all of us. If it's going to be a group session, I will send us a link. If it's one-on-one, you want one-on-one, 1222 as I'm saying that, you can just reach out to me and request that, and you can book those prayer sessions in the description below. All of the different types of links that you will need is listed in my description. So make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to me. Book your one-on-one life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions. You can get a week session with me. You can get 2 weeks, or you can get the entire month session with me. Okay, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. Assalamu alaikum.